Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Slapcast.
You're listening to the Slapcast, America's favorite podcast about NBC's new hit, The Slap.
Child abuse is just wrong.
Everybody has a right to breastfeed their child, okay?
Active friends and family, birthday party gathering, touching hands with Connie, Wonder did Anouk see, Hugo swung the bat, Harry doesn't play like that, he brought his hand back and gave that kid a slap. Listen up when you wanna talk the slap, talk it up every week on the Slapcast. Listen up when you wanna talk the slap, talk it up every week on the Slapcast.
That's right, this is your source for discussion, theories, and analysis of NBC's new hit miniseries, The Slap.
And I'm Jared.
And I am Tyler.
And thank you for joining us for episode 3.
Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed our new theme song. I just recorded that the other day. Jared wrote the lyrics for it. One of the best, finest compositions you'll ever find for a Slap podcast.
That is true.
It's based off a song by
Elvis Costello.
Elvis Costello, yeah, Pump It Up. Well, this one's called Slap It Up.
And we hope it pumps you up to listen to the number one source for Slap Talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you liked it, make sure to let us know. Yeah, so this episode was about Anouk, or Anouk, as some people call her in this episode.
Yep, still not sure what she prefers to be
Yeah.
called.
I don't know. I was just going off what you said.
Yep, but I was just going off best guess because I never heard that name before.
Yeah, how's it spelled? A-N-O-U-K?
Yep.
Okay.
No, UK.
Ow!
Alright, so we're going to start off, as always, with some feedback from last week.
Okay.
And,
From the Twitterverse,
Yeah.
our Twit army, we're building up. Got almost over 250 followers now.
alright, and spread the word. We want more. Alright, so Christina Darden said at the Slapcast, "Hey there, have you considered uploading the podcast to
Delilah.
SoundCloud? Or are you keeping it on YouTube?" Well, it's supposed to be on SoundCloud. SoundCloud did ask us to produce this podcast, but
Yeah, I'm still working with them. Lots of just little details. You work the kinks out. You know, when it comes to technology, you can just kind of expect that kind of stuff, and big business. So
well, doesn't seem like it should be this complicated.
yeah, I know. I agree with you.
All right,
I shouldn't.
Well, Christina, hopefully,
For right now, just keep joining on YouTube.
Yep.
It's always gonna be on YouTube. Got a
Hopefully
long-standing relationship with them, so.
hopefully you're still enjoying the podcast, and hopefully we can get that on SoundCloud for you very soon.
Yep.
Next tweet comes from Schoolyard Style. They said, at the Slapcast, at NBC The Slap, loved it, and we enjoyed the rap party last night also. Hashtag The Slap. So I guess people are maybe having listening parties to the Slapcast.
Yeah.
It's probably how we're building up the Twitter army.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks you, Schoolyard Style.
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys go ahead, feel free to have listening parties, wrap-up parties after our show's over. You guys can discuss our show.
So whenever The Slap is on, which is every Thursday on NBC, just hashtag The Slap and The Slapcast, and we'll be sure to read your stuff on air. Now, before we get into this week's episode, we have to address a couple things.
Yeah.
Sorry to have to waste time doing this. We just want to talk about The Slap. You just want to hear about The Slap. But if I just talk about this thing just this one time, I'll be done with it.
Get out of the way.
So last week, as you probably heard, we discovered there was another podcast called The Slapcast.
Yeah.
Wouldn't really call it a podcast, but Tyler got pretty upset. But after some serious soul searching, we realized they aren't a threat to us. They're nothing worth getting upset about. Like the Slap has taught us, you shouldn't let anger take control of your life. And, this is a free country.
Well, except stealing is illegal, and they kind of stole our name, so.
Well, that is true. But, over the past week, there were some young boys tweeting at us, which we're always looking for your tweets, and they were trying to get our attention, and it appears there's yet another podcast about the Slap out there. And these 3 young boys, apparently, were inspired by us here at the Slapcast, and have tried starting their own little podcast. And they've really been reaching out to us via Twitter. So we had a little break from writing and watching The Slap. We watched the episode multiple times before we record. And we decided to check it out. And it actually is a podcast. It's not like the fake Slapcast, which is just 2 minutes of nothing.
Well, sponsorship begging.
Yeah. So we actually listened to these boys' podcasts, and I gotta say, go f*** yourselves. And I don't want to swear. And Tyler, I want to apologize to you and your family for using the language in your home.
Jeez.
But I just had to get out of my system.
Okay.
So basically, boys, if you're listening, leave us alone. Stop checking our Twitter feed like a bunch of dorks. Stop tweeting at us.
Yeah, they said in their first episode they didn't want to talk to us, but then they tweeted at us. So make up your mind.
If you guys are trying to be funny, well, you've hit the mark about as well as Scott Norwood did in 1991. Ooh. Yeah, that's for you sports dorks. We aren't going to waste our time going back and forth with a bunch of dimwits who sit around and record stereotypical, misogynistic,
Yeah, calling women the C word.
and overall lame jokes on what sounds like a Panasonic boombox.
Yeah, recorded in an echo chamber, if you ask me.
We're here to talk about the slap, and that's what we're going to do. End of discussion. And beginning of discussion on episode 3 of the slap.
True. But, just want to say, it's kind of harsh. I mean, I can understand if you were saying that to Jax.
Well,
But, these are just a bunch of friends, little kids, just trying to have some fun, pushing the sound effects button constantly.
yeah, well, they're trying to start drama, and that's not what we're about. We're about providing quality entertainment.
Not you.
We don't need to be focusing on going back and forth on Twitter with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so you guys can just forget you ever heard of us, and, well, these podcast people, and just stop bothering us, please. Just do your thing, we'll do our thing, like you said, until you kept tweeting at us.
True.
Alright, so, episode 3 of The Slap had to deal with Anouk, and beginning of the episode, once again, the narrator was there.
Yeah, he's always there to greet us. Nice fella.
And wasn't there at the end. Only one time this week, which is, again, weird.
Yeah.
No consistency. So the show starts, the narrator's talking, and it's Anouk at the infamous birthday party.
Flashback.
And showing her perspective of the slap, only she wasn't watching the slap, as we know. She's watching Hector and Connie.
Yeah, we got a few different more cuts in this time into what Anouk was doing.
Yeah, so we're seeing the hand touching, we're seeing face touching, smiling.
Yeah, I got a little scared because he grabbed her hand up top on his face and he was pulling it down towards his pants, but it was just them holding hands.
And they're smiling, their faces were close. I thought they're about to reveal that they kissed, but they didn't show that. I mean, we know they've kissed before.
Yeah,
but we didn't know if she saw them kiss, which I guess not.
Yeah, I'm feeling like this is 5th grade.
Yeah.
Talking about people kissing.
Yeah, and speaking of 5th grade, she leaves with her very young boyfriend, leaves the party. It's still showing from the week of the birthday party. And
Jamie is his name.
Yep, I didn't know that 2 weeks ago, but I know it now. It's Jamie. And we find out at some point that he's 13 years younger than her.
You're about to say 13 years old.
He looks about 13.
Yeah.
And he also was like, hey, what was up with that? He
knew something was going on.
And he didn't, I don't think he saw as much as Anouk did.
But he could just tell. He was one of those guys, that just has that, couple sense.
Yeah.
And people just know.
He seemed to be the expert on having an affair. He was listening.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, the lust is taking over, blah, blah, blah. And
I've known a few people like that.
Yeah, well, that's neither here nor there.
I was kind of here.
Yeah, true. Hitting close to home. Not for me, but...
Another thing is kind of mean, though. She was leaving, and he calls her his girlfriend. She's like, I am not your girlfriend.
Yeah.
She didn't say it like that. It was more in a joking way,
Yeah.
But it just kind of showed real early on that she maybe didn't take their relationship very seriously, which is going to have some big implications a little later on.
Yeah, but what was bothering Anouk right immediately after the party, she didn't know whether she should tell Aisha.
Yeah, because Aisha and her are pretty good friends.
And she's thinking about that, and then, she's just thinking about it. Then she gets in a cab, and the next thing you know, they're doing it. I don't know, it's kind of a weird
Oh yeah, that's right.
sequence of cuts. Like, oh, seemed like they're just like, see you later, but then they're doing
Back
it
together. Yeah.
And then
Makes you wonder where she went.
yeah, I don't know. It seemed like they were saying goodbye.
Maybe she went to Victoria's Secret or something. Picked out some perfumes.
Maybe, I don't know. Didn't quite make sense, but I was like, all right. I was confused at first when they first showed her. Could tell she was getting the business done, but didn't know by who at first. Anyway,
I couldn't tell. I didn't know what was going on.
So after that, basically the whole episode is about Anouk and kind of her. Well, I wouldn't say the whole episode's about her feelings of guilt about what she saw.
Oh.
It kind of starts off that way, and we see her talking to Aisha. She meets her at a coffee shop, and she says she was teaching some kids about irony, and Aisha asks what she said, and she says, oh, I told him a guy gets dental floss caught in his gum, blah, blah, blah. Which, I don't know, I didn't think that was the definition of irony, but...
A lot of people use that wrong.
Yeah, thanks to Alanis Morissette, mostly.
Yeah. So look it up.
Yep. Yeah, we're not here to define things for you. And one thing I noticed right away in this episode, they're calling people by their names, which was nice, but they weren't saying the names consistently, so it was kind of annoying still. We had Anouk,
Rosie, Ruzy,
Aisha. So Rosie meets up with Anouk and Aisha.
Jamie.
And they talk for about 3 seconds. Anouk is kind of on the fence about the slap. She's saying, waving a bat is just as bad as getting slapped in the face by an adult. And Rosie gets upset, and she's like, oh, it's because you're trying to say I don't know because I've never had a kid. And then she's like, no, I'm not saying that. And then she's like, well, I gotta go, even though she just got there.
One of my favorite parts of this episode was the special guest star.
Yeah.
Anouk's mother.
Played by Blythe Danner.
Don't know her name, but she is the mom from Meet the Parents.
Yes.
And Meet the Fockers, sequel.
Finally, some movie references besides Flight Plan out of Tyler.
Well, what kind of really bothered me was her accent. She's supposed to be from England, I guess. She was English. And I just felt like she was overdoing it. I know you felt that way about the Greek mother. It's kind of thrown me off. It was weird seeing her in such a serious role, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's probably been in other stuff, but I only really recognize her from those roles.
Yeah.
So the whole time I'm just picturing, like, Ben Stiller shooting the cork and knocking down Robert De Niro's mom's ashes.
Yeah.
And the cat running around. But that's one of the big things in this episode. It's Anouk and her
mother.
Yeah,
not much really to do with the slap.
Yeah, we don't
after
even...
this.
Spoiler alert, we don't even see Harry. Don't even really hear about him.
Yeah, I wish there was more Hector this episode. We saw him a little bit, but...
Yeah.
Just missing him. I wish there'd be another Hector episode.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Well, hey, I already know that 2 weeks from now, Connie episode. Can't wait for that.
Team Connie.
That's going to be a juicy one, I got a feeling. Sure. But, yeah, we see Anouk and her mother. Her mother is also a psychologist.
Psychiatrist. Yeah, once again, look up the differences. Where's the difference? Just Google it.
And they're kind of talking about the slap a little. And, Anouk, I think she says at one point, I would have slapped him myself or something if it was her kid getting the bat waved at him. So she's like kind of on the side of she thinks the slap was justified, it seems like, but then she wouldn't take Harry's side. But I don't know. So she's kind of in this weird in-between area, but she didn't even see the slap.
Yeah.
So
she definitely needs some guidance, which is what she goes to her mother for.
And her mother tells her denial is a useful tool. So that's something to live your life by. And then I like this line. Her mother said, "What are you doing tomorrow night? It's going to be my birthday." As if Anouk didn't know her own mom's birthday.
That's
or
possible.
As if, the birthday is catching her by surprise. It just happens to be my birthday tomorrow.
Some moms are like that about birthdays. If they don't get recognized, they get mad at their children.
That's true. I've learned that.
They'll use every chance they can to remind them.
Yep. Yeah. I've learned that many times. And she wants Jamie to come along, which is nice.
So Jamie gets to meet the parent.
Yeah. And, thankfully he didn't tell any cat milking stories or anything like that.
Yeah, he played it smooth. A little too smooth, actually.
Yeah. But...
Something might be going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a smooth customer, and he knows all about having affairs, so I don't know who he's trying to impress. But the only real relevant to the overall plot scene we had was Anouk visiting Hector. Mm-hmm. Really, Hector's only scene, sadly.
This was based on Anouk's mom's suggestion. Mm-hmm. She said, "Don't tell Aisha, your best friend. Tell the person who actually did it that you knew about it." So she took her mom's advice.
She was basically saying that she loved their family and that she felt at home with them.
Yep.
And indirectly said, don't mess up your relationship and your life.
And didn't she say something like, "I'm the only one who should be having a relationship with a younger person," or something like that? Nice, okay, I guess.
And Hector is looking like, how do you know? He's looking kind of puzzled at this. And then he said, "Nothing happened." We know that's kind of a lie, I guess, because they did kiss in the car.
Well, you don't know what happened means to Hector.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe I don't know. I would think that kissing is crossing a line.
Yeah,
when you're married, kissing, or not just kissing in general, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, when you're in a relationship with someone, especially a marriage, kissing someone else, it's over the top.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Just kissing anyone's a pretty big deal. Doesn't happen doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, well, it varies from person to person. And
so overall, lucky to get a kiss.
But that's all we see from Hector this episode. He just gets told not to...
Yeah, he only had like a few lines in there.
Yeah,
so
he's mostly just staring.
Yeah, I was hoping I could do a Hector impression, but he didn't really say much.
Yeah, the only thing I remember is "Nothing happened." Mm-hmm. You need to give that one a whirl.
He said maybe one more thing before that, but nothing happened. Well, see, I didn't have time to work on that. I wasn't.
Yeah.
But
yeah, sorry to spring it on you. But then we see... Anouk is stopping at Hector's house before she goes to see Jamie's band, which is called...
Of course, Jamie's in a band.
Yeah, Useless Precaution.
Yeah, he's the typical hipster of the show.
Yeah.
The hair, the cardigans, the weed smoking.
And it really, really bugs me when they have live performance scenes in shows. They're always produced so weird looking, and it's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
It always just seems so fake. Like, the main character is always like standing in the back, but it's a perfect view of the stage, and they're looking at each other. And that's just not how it is.
That's true.
And it's always well lit. Mm-hmm. But audio is flawless every time. Just bugs me. And we see Anouk watching the band, and then she goes to the bathroom, starts throwing up.
Yeah, it was already hinted at earlier that she might be pregnant.
Yeah. It wasn't her mom?
Yep.
Her mom
guessed it. Oh, actually, I guessed it first.
Yeah.
Because, Anouk was talking about some of her symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, she's going to be pregnant.
Yeah.
And then right after I said that, her mom's like, yeah, you might be pregnant.
Yeah, so we see her throwing up, and it's like, okay, here we go. Mm-hmm. And, she's puking at the club. She's gargling water. She comes out. She's all disheveled. She says, "Oh, I love the song." Like, I guess they only played one song. I don't know. Kind of weird. And then she says, "Can we go to the drugstore? Sorry, I need to get some aspirin." But we know she's not really there for aspirin. Mm-hmm. And we see her buying a pregnancy test.
Or two.
Yeah.
I think it came in a 2-pack.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. And thankfully, I've never had to buy a pregnancy test, so I don't know if that's true to life or not. But Jamie doesn't notice because he's eating licorice.
Chow down on some Twizzlers.
Now, this guy, we don't know much about his character, but I could tell just from that scene this guy loves licorice.
Yep.
He had a barrel in his arms.
Yeah, those licorice, they come in tubs now.
Yeah.
And he was just stealing it.
Yeah, he's just eating it straight from the thing.
I thought Anouk would get kind of upset about that, but she didn't care.
I think she was just glad he was distracted.
Yeah, that's true.
And he says it's the weed, so right away we know he's got the munchies.
Typical hipster.
And, well, typical portrayal of a pot smoker.
Yeah.
And
hipsters are typically pot smokers portrayed.
Yeah, I guess.
To be in culture.
And
US.
So then we see Anouk, of course, door wide open, sitting on the toilet.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite shots, of course.
Well, nobody closes the door while they're using the bathroom.
Maybe that's an Australian thing, and they just didn't fix that coming over the U.S. version.
But she's taken the pregnancy test, door open.
Yep.
If she was wanting to keep it a secret from Jamie, who's in the house or apartment.
Yeah, once again, that full IMAX shot going on.
And it's weird. It had crossed my mind when they did the shot of Aisha that she was doing a pregnancy test for some reason. I guess premonition. I don't know.
But yeah, I do want to say, it was yesterday. I was going to go use the bathroom. The door was cracked a little bit, so I knocked just in case, and my mom wasn't there. She just didn't shut it all.
I thought you were going to say it was yesterday that you had a premonition that someone was pregnant, which you did.
That was today, actually.
Oh, see? Well, it does happen, so.
But that really bugged me, so.
Yeah.
Shut the door.
Anyway, she's, going to the bathroom, doing the pregnancy test, the door wide open. She's talking to herself. She says crap, which we know means that she's pregnant. But Jamie doesn't care because they're portraying him, once again, typical stoner scene.
Yep.
He is eating candy, watching, I think...
Woody the Woodpecker?
Yeah, Woody the Woodpecker, and he says, this show or this cartoon makes me believe in God.
Ah, classic. He must have been high.
Yeah, he's high. That's a common side effect is finding meaning in cartoons, eating candy. And Anouk just, she doesn't tell him. Then
yeah, she just sees him and she's like, I'm not having any of this.
Yeah.
Little kid.
So then we see, like we said before, Jamie gets to meet the parents. Well, it's only the mom. And
the parent, like I said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Didn't hear you. But we also get to meet a little baby who's one of the best actors of the show.
Yeah.
Has a great scene with Jamie. And then Jamie is talking. They're just kind of bull crapping at the dinner table. Nothing really important happens. This guy on there looked like David Wayne with a full head of hair. It's really bugging us. I don't know who he actually was. If anyone knows, it's like...
David Wayne impersonator.
Her mom's assistant or something?
Yeah, that's who it was. Because her mom, the psychiatrist, you gotta have an assistant.
Yeah, I don't know who he was. If anyone knows, tweet at us. And also, they're making it sound like Anouk writes the show Girls. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's what they're basing off of. Anyway,
heard of it.
The main thing we find out... Well, first of all, there's some more scenes like her mom tries giving her some wine, and she won't drink it.
Yeah, because she's pregnant.
Yep. And, but the important thing is we find out that her mom is going to Scotland.
Scotland!
Going to Edinburgh for teaching, or something.
I don't know.
And Anouk gets upset, even though she's a grown woman.
Yeah, and she's an older woman as well. I mean, at least she looks old. Uma Thurman, I don't know how old she actually is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I picture her in, like, her mid-40s, at the least.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but...
But, yeah, I couldn't believe a grown adult like that would get so upset about their mom leaving. And we find out earlier, too, she wasn't even that close to her mom.
Yeah.
What'd she care?
Well, she's close in a way, but not in, like, a motherly way. It's like a friend way.
I guess.
Which kind of leaves her feeling unfulfilled, I guess. I don't know. I know you would be doing backflips if your mom was leaving, going
That's true.
across the world.
Yeah, Scotland, yeah. Well, I wish I could take her place. I'd be the one going to Scotland.
Yeah. Either way, as long as you didn't have to risk, walking in on her, going to the bathroom, be a load off your mind.
Sure.
And, this episode, we'll get to the tweets later, but some people were saying it felt like it didn't have anything to do with the slap, and I kind of agree.
Yeah.
But it makes me interested in seeing how this is going to tie into everything.
Maybe they're going to have a spin-off series with just Anouk.
I don't know. Well, I do like her acting, Uma Thurman's acting for the most part. And character, sometimes bugs me a little bit, how they've written her. But we find out she's going to Scotland. And next thing we see is her on set, and Jamie kind of confronts her, and he knows that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And he takes it well. He's like,
He's happy about it.
He's like-
he takes it a little too well.
yeah,
if you ask me.
he's wanting, he's like, let's do this. Let's have the baby. I've already picked out a name, Oliver.
And he said, let's get married.
Let's get married. He's ready to take the step. He knows that he's 13 years younger, but he wants to grow up. He wants to take this mature step, raise this kid, get married, show this kid the world with Anouk.
Show this kid, Saturday morning cartoons and Twizzlers.
Yeah, teach him about God with Woody the Woodpecker.
Well, this, I know firsthand, not a good idea to get married just because a couple, gets pregnant and about to have a child together.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, my little nephew being born. Just ended in a divorce, so
Well,
goes to show. And he turned out like the worst child ever.
yeah.
So child's going to end up bad. You guys are going to end up divorced. Child's just going to get worse.
Yeah. All right.
So
Well.
do not resort to marriage just because of a pregnancy, okay?
And as we'll talk about in a minute, there's options to explore, and I mean that more ways than one. And Anouk had an option. Instead of getting married, they should break up.
Yeah.
Yep, he kind of just pours his heart out. She's like, I think about breaking up with you 10 times a day just so I don't have to think about you. He's like, I know, but you haven't. And I was like, oh, man. I was
That's so
actually,
sad.
I was getting a little PTSD watching this scene. It's reminding me of a past relationship I was having. She's like, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Despite never talking to him about it. Why don't you just be honest? Why don't you just talk about it? Don't just spring it on a guy when he's trying to pour his heart out.
Yeah. This is the thing about girls. They, hold it in for so long, and then eventually it all comes out, all in one big meanness splurge there.
Well, I think it happens with guys too.
Well, yeah, but
You can leave it building up for 5 or 6 years, and then just kind of
that is
dump
true.
them. Just leave them with a new kitten. Take care of all by themselves. So, just don't generalize, that's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
You know better. And, that kind of ends that scene. He just gets dumped. Talk about going from high to low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, finally, you're about to have a kid and then getting dumped.
Yeah.
And Anouk, she wants
An abortion. That's right. She goes to see Aisha. And she says she wants an abortion. And Aisha, I thought, acted a little bit unprofessional.
Really?
It seemed like she was just trying to talk her out of it.
Well, I think she just wanted to talk about it in the first place because she didn't even know she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Your best friend gets pregnant and you don't find out and she just says, I want an abortion. It's going to be a shocker because you never knew they were pregnant.
Yeah, well, I just feel like as a friend she should have just been respectful and accepting of her choice. But
yeah. Well,
this is one of those things I think maybe the show is trying to bring up.
abortion?
Yeah.
That's a real touchy subject, It's hard to talk about.
Yes, I think especially as two men, it's hard for us to talk about because we'll never have to get an abortion, so
Yeah.
it's not really our place to say.
But we do believe in women's rights.
Yep.
They have the right.
Yep, right to choose.
But, some people, they say, a woman has a right to not want to have a kid, but the man gets no choice in it. What if he doesn't want the kid?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have the kid.
But the way the law works here, at least in the U.S., he's going to have to support that child whether he wants it or not.
Yeah.
It's all left up to the woman, though.
Yeah, well, then you get into, he should have taken the precaution.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you can't always, you think the precautions have been taken.
Yeah, that's true. If the woman says, she's on birth control or something, the guy just believes her. Maybe she's tricking him. Sometimes it happens, too. Sometimes the woman will trick the guy into having a baby. I think, keep this on the down low, but I think that's what happened between my sister.
Oh.
I think, things were getting a little rocky in the relationship. So she skipped a few weeks of birth control so they could have a kid. Keep them
And
together.
ruin your life
Yeah.
because of it.
Subsequently, yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Some people think a child can save a relationship, and that's not the case.
Yeah. And a marriage can't always save a relationship either.
Yeah. And neither can a kitten.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only true love. I'm gonna go with a true love and a kiss.
Yeah. And, you know, if you got true love, you don't really need to save the relationship, probably. It's probably just a good relationship.
Uh-huh. And probably won't be any abortions.
Yeah.
So most people who love each other, they're probably going to want to have a kid together.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then they'll be honest, and the woman's not going to be trying to trick them into having a kid.
Here's the other thing, though. Sometimes the guy, you know, he doesn't want to wear a condom, so he's like, "Oh, I'll just take care of it," and then he doesn't, or he'll be like, "Yeah, I put a condom on," and he doesn't.
I guess that happens too.
So,
and I read this online. One thing is wearing, some guys will wear 2 condoms for double the protection. I read that's actually worse. It's more likely to cause ripping, tearing.
Yeah. I've also, this happens. People poke holes in the condoms. Sometimes a girl does it. Sometimes a guy doesn't. Does it? I said not doesn't. Because, sometimes a guy thinks if the girl gets pregnant, like if he knows that she'll keep the kid, he thinks that'll save a relationship. It goes both ways.
Yeah. Everything between, genders, it goes both ways. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or girl. Pretty much everything can be said for anybody, and as long as you're a human being.
Yeah. So, anyway, Anouk wants an abortion, but Aisha's telling her to just take some time to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she's done thought about it.
You also got to think about, if you do get an abortion, what kind of effects is that going to have on your body as a woman, and how far along are you?
Yeah.
Catholic Church, they don't condone abortions. I think a child is a child, at conception. So if Anouk's Catholic, she's gonna have to bring religion into this. If she's religious, think about that.
And one of the things she's concerned about, one of the things Anouk is concerned about, is that she doesn't know how to be a mom. And then she reveals that she's got some mom issues in her life. Mm-hmm. And she says that her and her mom are more like friends, like we said earlier, and that she found out that, when she was younger, her parents were getting a divorce and her dad died.
Yeah, before it finished.
And she went into the closet or something, and she found out that her mom wanted to give up custody of her.
Very, very sneaky.
So she didn't even want her.
But she ended up with her anyway. So as a child, that would be pretty scarring.
Yeah,
your parent was about to just give you up.
Yeah,
in my case, if my mom did it, I'd be happier.
Yeah,
I wanted to live with my dad.
Yeah, and not your stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
And Aisha's saying, "I'm a mom, but I make mistakes all the time. It's okay." And an example she brings up is her young, smart boy is addicted to watching porn.
Well, she didn't say addicted. She said he been fascinated.
Okay.
By porn. There's a big difference.
And one thing that bothered me, she says, it's embarrassing. Embarrassing for who?
Yeah, well, I don't know. She caught him.
Yeah, but we found out how she caught him.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he didn't erase his history, so she just saw. And how did she know it wasn't Hector?
Very good point.
But why is she embarrassed if her kid watches porn? What's so wrong with the kid watching porn?
I don't know.
I don't know how old he's supposed to be.
Well, he's still breastfeeding, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be younger.
Yeah, I mean, their kid is old enough to wake up and get a snack, which, if he would have done that the night of the slap, he would have been seeing porn right on the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Aisha's getting slammed on the kitchen table while worried about her kid watching porn.
True.
So, I mean, you think he's hearing that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also, I love when she mentions when Aisha mentions how she found out by checking the browser history, like a little sparkle goes off in Anouk's eye. It's like, oh, browser history. I can use that to my advantage somehow.
Yeah, but we're like, how? We didn't understand.
I thought maybe she was going to, check Hector's computer.
Or check Jamie's computer. Nah, she just dumped him.
Or not Hector, I'm sorry. I'm getting people mixed up. Yeah.
Oh, you were thinking Jamie too?
I wasn't. I was thinking she was Aisha for a second.
All right, well, they didn't even have the same color hair. So.
I don't know. She's just going to go around checking everybody's computer to see what they're up to now that she knows about browser history.
Yeah, I actually had a teacher in high school who came to me and some other friends and asked about how to delete your history. Because he had been watching pornography and didn't want his wife to find out.
Now, once again, that scene just kind of hit home with me a little bit because I had a stepbrother who he had a fascination with porn as well growing up, and I remember as I was a little younger than him, I had a problem with it because my mom had a problem with it, and also my sisters had a problem with it, and the only one that didn't have a problem with it was my stepdad. It turns out he was the one feeding him the porn.
Yeah.
So he has.
But to be fair, that's probably the last time anyone in your house has been fed by an adult.
True. My stepdad had to act like he was upset about it, but in reality, he was the one. He's the giver. But I remember I'd be sneaking around trying to catch him, so I could.
Ugh.
Well, no, I want to catch him so I could tell on him to my mom. So sometimes my stepsister would sneak in down on the basement and see what he's watching on TV at the moment. And I don't know what would happen once we presented the evidence, but I mean it was quite obvious what he was up to.
Didn't you guys share a room too?
Yeah, we did. So I was on some nights uncomfortable for me.
Oh gosh.
I guess.
Wow.
Well, that's my stepbrother for you.
Now, you can erase browser history, but just to go off a little bit, you can't erase putting poop under the cabinet, which is another thing your stepbrother did. Is that right?
Yeah, that was him. Still don't know why I did that.
Yeah, that's something maybe the Slap can explore. Another issue for them. Maybe Hugo's putting poop under the cabinets or something. But your stepbrother is what? How old was he when he was doing that?
I don't know, mid-teens.
Okay. And was it animal or human?
I'm pretty sure it's dog.
All right.
But yeah, the Slap. You never know what kind of controversies they're gonna be bringing up on the show.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty messed up there. I don't know what to say about that. So moving on. At this point, we're pretty close to the end of the episode. Again, not much regarding the actual slap has happened. She's just like, yep, didn't see it. But we see Anouk check the browser history at her mom's house.
Here's where it comes in play with her mom. I didn't see this coming.
And she finds out that her mom is very sick.
Yeah.
And she finds out her mom has a brain tumor.
It's a tumor.
It's kind of in poor taste. But, so then David Wayne comes in, and Anouk's crying. She's like, don't tell her I saw this. And he explains that's why she's really going to Scotland. It's for treatment.
Oh, I did not catch that.
Yeah, well...
I thought she was just, going there to, retire and die.
Maybe. That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
I was barely paying attention. I don't know. And then there's, a quick 5-second scene, and Anouk goes to Rosie. She's like, hey, I was horrible to you. She's like, I was too. And that's about it.
I didn't catch that either.
Yeah.
This episode was pretty disinteresting to me, I have to say.
Yeah. You could hear Hugo screaming in the background.
Ugh.
And you could see...
I kind of had that child screaming blocked out of my memory.
And Rosie had, one shoulder down on her shirt. She must have just been breastfeeding.
I think they meant to do that on purpose. They're like, oh, let's make it look like she just got done breastfeeding. Any chance I can get.
Yeah, and... basically, Anouk is saying, one thing I admire is how much you love your son. So we're kind of seeing maybe Anouk is maybe now that she has this pregnancy, she's feeling more sympathy towards Rosie. And then we see Anouk take her mom a birthday gift.
Yep. Originally, she got her a box of chocolates, but now this.
She did?
Yeah. You were typing at that part, but yeah, she brought just a little box of chocolates, but she took them back after she found out about the brain tumor.
Oh, okay.
So this time she's like, oh well, you can't. She's starting to like her mom now. She's not as mad that she's leaving because she knows why. So she gets her a Louis Vuitton suitcase.
Yeah,
those things are expensive.
And her mom, I think, kind of realizes that she knows something's up. And her mom reveals she knows something's up when she says a line that's like, you can only care for 2 people, and I'm not one of them. And she's like, oh, how did you know? And she's like, I always. No, I shouldn't say that. But,
Mom instinct.
Yep. They kind of just accept, like, what's happening. Kind of have just a nice hug.
Yeah.
Getting teary-eyed. And I guess they kind of just accept that the mom's going to die. And I guess Anouk is going to have the baby. I guess. I don't know.
Well, we do know. That's the very last scene.
We do know.
We see Jamie. He's at, I don't know, just some place. Playing the piano, of course. He can play the piano.
Yep.
Playing a nice little ditty. Anouk walks in.
Just puts her head on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Meet Olive."
And then Jamie says, "Or Oliver."
It's a nice little tender moment.
Yep.
I thought that was kind of touching. It was a sweet moment. I just thought it was sweet, just because, he was feeling down. He's playing the piano.
Yeah, I guess in his case.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of just feel bad for him, because not much is going on up there, I guess. Just.
But that's the episode. So
that's how it ended.
Nothing.
The narrator did not come back.
Even he was like, "Oh well, nothing really to say here," and that was it. So.
Well, usually when the narrator comes in, he's got something more to say about the slap.
But
stuff happened with that, so nothing was happening with it, so he didn't come back.
Yeah, so weird episode, just because of how much it was, unrelated to the actual slap.
Yeah.
I thought maybe there'd be more stuff between her and Hector, or maybe her and Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Again, don't know when this show is, building something up, or when it's just being nonsensical.
True.
But it would have been an interesting episode of another show. But for this show, I was like, okay, well, just kind of waiting around for something to build up.
Yeah, maybe they just ran out of, people to do episodes on, so they just threw this one in early. Like, people that were actually had something to do with the slap and relatable. Because, most miniseries nowadays are always 8 episodes, so
yeah,
gotta have 8.
Well,
ran out of people.
I'm sure that there's probably an episode about her in the Australian version too, but I read a tweet, which I'll read in a second, that kind of makes me wonder if it was different. So, any overall thoughts for you?
Despite this not being really related too much, like the main plot of the series, it was an overall great episode of a drama television. For one of the best new dramas out there.
Definitely had dramatic elements, and I'd say that for the most part, it was good acting. Uma Thurman's a good actress.
Yeah, that really stood out. So I guess my biggest complaint this episode was just not enough Hector and not enough Connie.
Yeah, I miss them for sure. I just would prefer a totally Hector series, A series that just focuses on him. I think he's the most intriguing character.
Yeah, he can lead a television show. He can lead a movie, like we saw in Flight Plan. So just
you and Flight Plan. And even though I don't really like him, I even missed Harry just because he's kind of like the center of the series. Mm-hmm. So I was surprised to have him not in this episode at all.
Yeah, I missed his outbursts.
Yeah,
but I think it's led to me being a much calmer person this episode.
Yeah,
that kind of rubs off on you.
Yeah,
you spend too much time around people like that. What can happen?
When you feel empathy for people, you're putting yourself in their shoes or their ice bath. It kind of can get you riled up.
Uh-huh.
If you're trying to understand the mindset of a certain type of person. Sometimes too much of that can be a bad thing.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot in my life.
Yeah. Well, so that's what we thought. I mean, I thought it was a decent episode, but it's just so unrelated. Just has me wondering. And I know the next episode is about Hector's dad.
What?
Yeah,
okay.
so I don't know what that is. I feel like it's going to be the same thing. And then episode 5, though, is Connie, which you can't wait for.
Oh, yeah.
But here's what some of the people...
Connie.
Yeah, I do miss her, because I guess, here's the thing. I think we're both more interested in the Hector storyline than the Harry one.
Yeah.
I just want a Hector and Connie drama.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what some of the other people...
Hopefully it's not called the slap.
No.
Hopefully it's called the hat. Feet couple.
Yeah, well, I mean, he does have a family he'd be leaving, but...
But they would be happy. You got to go with your heart, and I'm thinking, Hector's heart is leaning towards Connie.
You think he's Team Connie?
Hector is probably Team Connie.
I guess we'll see. I guess we gotta wait 2 weeks, so we gotta see what Hector's dad's up to.
No one ever said that you still can't be friends with your ex-wife. Things could work out well for them, even if they got divorced.
Maybe.
But, then again, we did see, Aisha's maybe not the most mature adult in handling situations like that.
I think it just shows that she's an emotional person.
Well, that's not good for a divorce.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know anything about divorce. Never experienced one.
Lucky.
But,
Lucky man.
So what do you think Hector's dad what did he have to do with the slap? That we're going to have a whole... let me double check that right now. I don't want to give our fans any false hope. So yes, I've just confirmed episode 4 is Manolis, which is Brian Cox's character, Hector's dad. Don't know what... I mean, all he was like, oh, he's a boy. I don't even know what his reaction was.
Oh, he's a boy?
Yeah. I was thinking of Mr. Wilson from Dennis the Menace. He's only a boy. I know Hector's mom was like, the brat deserved it, or something. And I don't know. He was just
maybe we'll see it for the slap from his perspective, and maybe he got a little something extra.
Looking forward to see what they do. Anyway, here's what the fans thought of the slap. Some tweets. So Melissa Cossey said, "Now Rosie need to stop wearing that off-the-shoulder, ready to breastfeed a 3-year-old look. Go. The slap."
I have to agree with her there.
Yesha said, "I see hashtag the slap decided to change Anouk's whole storyline." See, that piques my interest, because I'm wondering if maybe she watched the original Australian version, and maybe that's what she's referring to.
Probably.
So, it'd be interesting to go back and watch that version and see, what differences there are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, might have to do a whole separate podcast on it.
But that's interesting. So, if anyone has any insight on that, let us know what Anouk's original storyline was. Tony Showoff said, "I don't understand hashtag the slap. If someone assaults your child, why wouldn't you kick their teeth in? Why? Would it cause social collapse?" So what do you think about that?
Well, I can think of a lot of reasons why.
You react to violence with more violence?
Yeah, I know personally I wouldn't have reacted with more violence. A very non-violent person. I've never been in a fight.
Now, we know Anouk said she would have killed Harry.
Yeah. Over the top.
Yeah.
But then again, you never know, because, when you have a child, things are different. You see the world a little differently.
Yeah.
Be very protective. I mean, they're your, flesh and bones. They got your DNA in them.
Yeah. And you see it with animals all the time. That's why they even called Harry an animal.
Yeah.
After he slapped Hugo. Paige Kennedy said, hashtag the slap. This week threw me off. It had nothing to do with a slap. Not even the slap. She just wanted something.
Well, I'm going to just go out and say this. You don't know how Anouk got pregnant. Could have been a slap involved.
Now here's one. Melissa Cossey said, "I feel you, Anouk. How you gonna tell him you pregnant and he watching cartoons and eating snacks? Crying emoji. Hashtag the slap."
Right on.
Melissa, if anything's bothering you, feel free to direct message us. It seems like that kind of hit home for you. And that's what great drama is all about.
Yeah, it's hit home for me a little too much.
So
this episode's a lot to handle, I guess, for me emotionally.
Yeah, kind of just bringing up a lot of bad memories for both of us.
Painful memories, just throwing them in our face.
Yep, slapping us in the face with them. And final tweet here that I collected is, don't know how to say this name, but his handle is Large Locale. He said, "Had to pause hashtag the slap for a minute and start some laundry because what Uma Thurman did to her quote-unquote boyfriend was fucked up."
I agree.
Yeah.
And I know you agree.
Yeah, when she dumped him, he just this guy had to pause it and do some laundry.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, I hate doing laundry, so this guy is like, he needed anything to get that off his mind. So it seems like maybe this episode, while it wasn't maybe relevant to the overall plot so much, it was relevant to a lot of the viewers.
Yeah.
So
it was a very deep episode.
Maybe a more effective episode than anyone could have anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
And before we started the podcast, I didn't really think much of it, but now I'm thinking more of this episode. I think about how it affected everyone that viewed it.
Yeah, and all the stories I've shared.
Yeah. So, that's about it for this week. Anything else you want to bring up?
Well, a girl once told me she was pregnant and had an abortion.
Okay. Is that all?
It's just how I related, I guess, to Jamie in this episode.
But it wasn't yours.
No. But, I mean, in a way, I kind of felt like it was. If you know what I mean.
All right, well, guess that does it for this week. We'll catch you next week with the...
What's his name? Manolos,
Mentos, I don't know.
Just before we go, I want to admit that I'm a little scared for next week's episode. Because, this older man, Hector's dad, he's Greek, am I right?
Yeah.
Well, I just recently had a great friend of mine who was Greek pass away. So, once again, I feel like this is going to be touching a little too close to home for me.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's a nice, happy episode with him.
Yeah.
And can maybe remind you of some of the good times you had with your friend.
I hope so. But either way, it's going to bring it up.
Yeah.
We'll catch you next week then.
Yep. And don't forget to hashtag the Slapcast, and ignore all other podcasts about the Slap. They are all jokes.
And they don't have cool theme songs.
Yep. Make sure you tell us how you like the new theme song. All right.
Only the true fans will tell us because only they listen to the very end.
True.
Slap you later.